Hi everybody, so welcome back to our channel. This is going to be part 3 of our tenant turnover series. So initially what we were going to do was Kevin and I was going to divide and conquer because we have a group of tenants that are going to be switching to another unit. I was going to show that unit today, but this is what I was telling you before. You have to make sure that you double and triple confirm your appointments. So the tool we use is Google Voice, and that's just the number that I get through Google for free. And I reached out, and unfortunately they are canceling the tour today. So what I'm going to do instead is, I did have a FaceTime tour scheduled, so I'm still going to do that. But the key objective for today is to make sure that we get a lease out and signed for the girls that are moving into our other unit. All right, you guys, it's the next day, and if you're in New England, you're very well aware that we have about 2 feet of snow outside. So what I'm going to do today, which I should have done yesterday, but we were preparing for the snow, I am going to go ahead and send a credit and background check to one of the roommates that is going to be added to an existing group of tenants that I have now. Typically, I use my Smart Move through TransUnion. But in recent applications, I've been doing everything through Stessa, just trying to keep everything under one platform. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It's going to charge the tenant $47, but that gives me the full report of evictions, credit income verification, criminal reports, anything that you could need. So it'll get the job done. So I'm going to go ahead and send that off now. I have another update. So I have another unit that is also available for rent. It's a 3-bed, 1-bath. And I had it listed and I had someone scheduled to come, but unfortunately they canceled. So what I ended up doing, there was 2 other people that were interested, and I ended up asking if they wanted to FaceTime or just do like a video of me walking through and texting it to them. And sure enough, one of those videos that I sent is a home run and they want to move forward. So what I just did was I did another look at the pre-screening checklist, and everything looks great. Or sorry, not checklist, just like the pre-applications questionnaire. And then now what I'm going to do is also send them the credit and background check. So yeah, it's so far so good. I am so optimistic. I hope that just this one round of showings is enough to get it done. So fingers crossed, and I'll touch back with you when I have an update on if they're good or not. Hi everybody, we're back with another update. So I wanted to walk through how I go about sending out leases. Now at this point, I have my master lease, and what I do is I just leave a copy of that in my Google Drive, and then every time that I need to send out a new lease renewal, I just edit it from there. So I'm going to go ahead. I reviewed the credit and background check for the girl that's going to join my existing group of tenants that I already have. And I believe this is like their 5th lease renewal. So I also, 1, trust their judgment, and 2, everything checked out there. So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I change everything that I need to. And something that's helpful is I just have highlighted all the fields that need to be changed, and an update for like if it's 1 to 2 cats in this case, or addresses and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead there. Another thing that I had going on is I had another group of tenants decide to renew. So this was the one, if you've been following along in this series, that they wanted to extend it until the end of the month, until they heard back for their own personal reasons. And they did, and they want to stay. And what I do is when I send a lease out, they have to sign it within 48 hours. Only one of the 3 tenants did. So I sent them a reminder a day or so ago, and then one person signed it. And then now I'm just waiting on that last signature. And typically I time block this to 48 hours for signature, because I've been in this situation before where I say, here's the lease, and so much time goes by, and then they go, oh, sorry, like we found another place to live. And essentially they were kind of just stalling, and then I'm, out without a backfill. So I'm going to go ahead and send another reminder message to get that last signature, and then that lease renewal will be all set. And I'm going to do the same thing for this group of girls that I was just talking about. I'm going to send them all the lease, and everything's digital, so they'll be able to go on, on the platform and sign via DocuSign, and they're going to have the same parameters as, to sign it within 48 hours. Another thing that I do as well is I don't take the listing down from Zillow until all signatures and deposits are made, because it's just, again, another sense of protection for me. And it also applies a little bit of pressure to the tenants to make sure that they're serious and they're getting their ducks in a row. Because if they do end up, stalling, and then I take the property down, then future applicants can see the history on Zillow, and then they start to question, well, I saw it was posted and now it's not. Like, why? Is there something wrong? And it just creates a bunch of questions for really no reason. So that's another reason why I keep the listing up until I have the lease and deposits. And sorry if this video feels jumping all over the place a little bit, but I did want to show you how I'm actually doing this in real time and what this looks like. So now that I know that I'm filling one of the units and I'm about to send out that lease, something that I also do is schedule the cleaners. If you're just joining us now, just to reiterate, these units won't be fully turning over until May 31st, but we're doing everything in advance, so we're not scrambling last minute and being really reactive in our tenant turnover process. So I went ahead and I found a cleaner, and I got such a great deal, and I'm so excited about this because, first off, to find cleaners last year was torture, and even a month in advance was too short a notice for a one-time cleaning. A lot of cleaning companies have reoccurring clients, so just to be a one-off to get on the calendar is, in our market, I found to be quite challenging. And they wanted $700 or $800 per cleaning, which is crazy. So just by chance, I ended up finding someone locally, and they're only going to charge $125, which I thought was a huge win. And they're so detailed and great. I told them the time the tenants are moving out, and we're figuring out when is a good time for them to come in before the new set of tenants move in the following day. And they're asking me for any turnover instructions. So of course, I'm just going to say, and it's going to be really easy because it's not a furnished rental or anything, but I'm going to tell them, of course, clean the floors, all the appliances, the windows, and I'll give them instructions to throw cleaner into the dishwasher and the in the washing machine as well, just to make sure all of that is clean. And then another thing that I'm going to schedule, which I have a better relationship with our plumbers, and depending on what we have going on, Kevin might be available to do it as well, but we give all of the drains free and clear. So any of the snakes of the tubs and the sinks and things like that, I'll schedule, and the tenants will have proof that everything has been, cleared out before they move in. And this is just another level of protection that if they have, I've had in the past, dog hair clogged the drain, or they put items down drains that they shouldn't be, women and feminine products and things like that. So that just gives us another level of protection if something were to be clogged down the line. So it's a lot to think about, but if you're just organized and you do all of this in advance, it's really just like a walk in the park. All right, we're still at it. So I just confirmed with my tenants that are choosing to renew and stay, and it just seemed like there was a bit of confusion about the signature for the lease, and that's why it's been outside the 48-hour window. It's because it comes through, when you use a program like Stessa, it comes through a different email. It's because it's DocuSign. So it just was unfamiliar, but that should be no problem, and that unit will be good to go. The other thing that I did was I sent out the other lease for the new group of girls, and they should be all set to sign. Let's see, I'm going to open it right now in real time. Awesome. So we have one signature so far. I'll go ahead and sign. You save, that's fine. And then the two signatures that we're waiting for are two tenants that have already lived in one of our other units for a really long time. So that's a really good start as well. And another thing, so those girls are moving out and going into a 4-bed. Now we have that 3-unit available. And what I had did with the FaceTime tour is I sent them the application to, fill out. And I usually tell people, if you're not 100% certain, do not fill this out because it costs money. And in the past, what I used to do is I would reimburse it. But that's not something that I do anymore. I felt like, I don't even really know why we did it. It was just more of, I just felt bad that these things cost money. But the reality is that it's kind of a part of it. So it's not something that we offer anymore, but it's something that we have done in the past, and you can tell me in the comments if that's something that you do or something we should continue to do, or maybe it was just nice. I don't know. But we choose not to do it anymore. And that's why I tell them, if they're not serious about it, to not waste their money. I never want to waste anybody's money, and I don't want them to pay and then me deny them. That's not the business that I'm in. I don't want to, screw people over like that. So for some reason, they must have chose not to fill it out. So I'm still answering inquiries because it seems like they've kind of lost interest. And of course, I'm going to double confirm and not have someone else pay, in the meantime. But I'm kind of, I was optimistic earlier in this video, and you can see as it's now dark in the background that I've given up a little bit of hope there. But I did get a few more inquiries, and this one that I was just reviewing, they said that they want to move in on the 1st of March. And just FYI, like, that's always kind of a red flag. Like, it's February 24th right now, and whenever anyone wants to move in like ASAP on such short notice like this, you have to kind of question it. I'm sure these people have a valid reason, and sometimes that is the case, but a little like red flag in your head should go off when you're just in that situation. Just be super diligent. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to work out either, but that is the last and final unit out of the 10 that we have that we need to get sorted for this upcoming turnover. So stay tuned for part 4. And that's where I'm going to walk you through the move out emails and all of the attachments that we add in there, and all the move in emails as well, and coordinating, the scheduling between having tenants move out, cleaners and plumbers come in, us do our final check if the handyman needs to come by and do, any type of painting and fixing and things like that, get them in as well. And then have everyone all moved in and settled. So thank you again for watching. I hope you've been finding this series helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.